Stop letting people tell you that you need an expensive camera in order to create high quality content when really all you need is your iPhone. This clip right here is being filmed on my iPhone, and I'm about to share all the tips and tricks that I use to create content that looks like this. So let's get into it. One of the biggest issues that people run into when they're trying to film with their iPhone is storage. If that's a problem that you're running into, one of the first things that you want to do is go to your settings, click on general, and then click on iPhone storage. This is going to tell you how much storage is being used and what apps are using most of that storage. For a lot of us, it's the photos and the messages that eat up our phone storage. So if you want to combat this, you need to delete any unwanted photos and videos from your camera roll. You can also go back to the page that I showed you earlier with the iPhone storage, and you can click on review large attachments. This is going to show you all the photos and videos that are in your messages that are taking up a lot of space on your phone, and you can delete those. If after doing all of that you still have storage issues, you probably need to take all the photos and videos that you want to hold on to and put them somewhere else. So you might want to put them in a cloud service like iCloud or Google Photos. If you're not interested in that, you can also put all of your photos and videos onto a flash drive that plugs right into your phone. Ultimately, you want to put your photos and videos somewhere safe, because once you do that, you're going to delete everything from your camera roll. Now, another option that you have is to buy an SSD. It's basically an external hard drive. You can connect it to your phone, so when you record videos, they go straight to the hard drive instead of saving directly to your phone. Okay, so now that you have your storage situation together, the next thing is super important because this can make or break your content. You can have all of the right settings, but it does not matter if you don't have good lighting. Whether or not you use natural or artificial light, that is completely up to you, but you want to make sure you have enough light, and you want to be mindful of where your lighting is positioned. Never film with your main light source behind you. It's going to make you look underexposed, and that's not ideal for videos like this where people need to see your face. I would also recommend that you don't use your ceiling lights. In my opinion, light that comes straight down usually isn't that flattering. So instead, you want to have your light in front of you. It can be directly in front of you, it can be off to the side at a 45-degree angle. Ultimately, you want your light in the front of you somewhere, and you want it to be facing towards you. I should also mention that when I'm filming content for platforms like Instagram or TikTok, I am not filming directly inside of those apps. I like to use my camera app because it gives me more control over my settings. And speaking of settings, let's get into those. All right, get out your phone and we are going to go into our settings. Once you're inside of your settings, you want to go down to camera. And then the first thing we're going to click on is record video. Now, this is where you're going to set your video resolution and your frame rate. So your video resolution is going to be 720p, 1080p, 4K. These days, many people don't really use 720p, so I would recommend that at the very least, you want to be filming in 1080p. Now, a lot of people are going to go ahead and tell you to film in 4K, but if you're posting to platforms like TikTok and Instagram, they don't actually support 4K uploads. So yes, you can record in 4K and you can upload that 4K video to the platform, but they are going to take that file and they are going to compress it to make it smaller. Now, a lot of people notice that when they upload 4K videos, that their videos aren't as high quality as they are on their phone, and that's because of that compression. So for that reason, a lot of the content that I film and post on social media is actually filmed in 1080p to avoid that. But filming in 4K does have its benefits, especially when it comes to cropping. So if you want to film in 4K, film in 4K, and when you go to edit that video, export it in 1080p. That way you avoid that compression, but you still maintain the quality of the video. Now, when it comes to frame rate, typically your choices are going to be 24 frames per second, 30 frames per second, or 60 frames per second. 24 or 30 frames per second is perfect for most videos. You only really need to film in 60 frames per second if you plan on slowing your video down to do some sort of slow motion clip. All right, so scrolling down a little bit more, I have enhanced stabilization. Now, depending on your iPhone, you may or may not have some of the settings that you see here, and that's okay. But if you have this setting here, I would recommend that you turn it on. This is going to help to prevent your video from being too shaky when you're recording handheld. Some people have really steady hands, Some of us do not, so this will definitely help with that. Scrolling down a little bit further, we have HDR video. I go ahead and turn that off. I find that when you have this setting turned on and you go into your editing software, your video looks very blown out. It's very overly exposed, and then you have to do a lot of work to try to fix it. I don't want to do that. So I just have it turned off. And then at the very bottom, I have lock white balance. I have that turned on. Sometimes when you're filming content, you might move a lot. Maybe you talk with your hands, or maybe you're filming handheld. Sometimes the color temperature might go from cool to warm or warm to cool. And if you don't want that to happen, if you want your videos to stay consistent throughout, having this turned on will definitely help. All right, so we're going to click on the back arrow. And now we are going to go down to record cinematic. Now, earlier in this video, the very first clip that you saw, that was filmed with my iPhone. And you may have noticed that I had a blurry background. That is what cinematic mode will allow you to do. Not all iPhones have this. It's going to be the iPhone 13s and newer. They have cinematic mode, and this allows you to blur that background. Now, when you're filming in cinematic mode, these are the only options you have. You cannot film in 60 frames per second with cinematic mode. So if you need to use 60 frames, you just have to use the regular video mode. Now, going back again, we are now going to click on formats. Now, when it comes to camera capture, I have mine set to most compatible. High efficiency is actually a newer file format, so it's definitely going to be compatible with any Apple devices. But some devices, some editing softwares, it may or may not be compatible. And so if you need to send your content off to an editor, or you need to share it, or you need to upload it or edit it, you just want to make sure that you're able to open the files. So that's why I choose most compatible. Now, photo capture, we're going to skip that because this is all about video. So skipping down to video capture, I have Apple ProRes turned off. This is a feature for people who may want to film in a log profile, so that way they can go in and color grade later. This is for the people who want to create cinematic masterpieces. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but these files take up so much space on your phone. So if storage is an issue for you, I don't recommend that you use Apple ProRes, but it is available for the people who want to use it. All right, let's go back. And now we are going to go down to the composition section. So right here, you see grid. I have that turned on. This is going to be really helpful when it comes to composing and framing your shot. We also have level. Sometimes when you're filming with your iPhone and you put it on the tripod, it could be slightly crooked. So the level will indicate and tell you if your video is straight or not. So I love having that on. Going down a little bit more, we have lens correction here. So for the iPhones that have a wide angle lens, which is going to be that 0.5 lens, sometimes when you're filming in a really wide view like that, it can cause a lot of distortion, especially on the edges of the image. So lens correction can help with that. I also have my macro control turned on. Macro control is a good feature to use when you want to get really close to a small object. This will help your camera focus on that item. And when it comes to settings, that's pretty much the main things that you need to know. So now we are going to hop inside of the camera app, and I'm going to show you a couple things. Okay, so I'm inside the camera app, and this is what it's looking like. So off rip, you're going to see these lines. These are the grid lines that I told you about a little bit earlier. These are going to help you compose your shot. So if I step in front of the camera, typically this is what I like when I'm filming vertical videos. I like for my eyes to be here, and then I just try to stand in the middle of the frame somewhere like this. Now, depending on what you're trying to film, you may not want to be in the center of the frame. You might want to step back. You might want to be off-centered. So you want to be on this grid line, or maybe you want to be off-centered this way. It really just depends on what you're trying to do. But ultimately, these guidelines help you get whatever type of framing you want. At the bottom, you might see these little bubbles with numbers. So right now we are using the standard 1x lens, and this is what it looks like on my iPhone 15 Pro Max. Now, if we use the 0.5 lens, As you can see, this is a wider angle, which is showing more of the room. And then I can click on the 2x lens, which is gonna zoom in a little bit more. And I do have the 15 Pro Max, which has a telephoto lens. So if I do that, it'll zoom in super far. So for comparison, this is the 0.5 lens. This is the 5x telephoto lens. At the top left, you can see that I'm filming 4K 24 frames per second. But if I want to change that, all I need to do is tap on it, and then all of my different options will pop up. So let's say I want to film in 1080p. I would just click on HD for the resolution. And then for the frame rate, I can choose whatever I want. If I want to choose 24, I would click 24. So that's a shortcut to dialing in your settings. Another thing is if I rock my phone side to side, you're going to see this horizontal line in the middle of the frame. This is letting you know if your video is straight or not. So if your video has the yellow line, that means that your video is straight. If you're still seeing this white line in the middle, that means your video is not straight. So now I'm just gonna record a quick video because I wanna show you the difference between this and cinematic mode. So right now we are in regular video mode. So I'm just going to tap on record. I want to step off to the side a little bit because I really want to put emphasis on this plant. So as you can see, the plant behind me isn't really blurred. Like you can see it, it's in focus. So this is what the background looks like when you record in regular video mode. So now I am going to scroll over at the bottom and go to cinematic mode. So to adjust the background blurriness, you want to go to the top left, and you're going to see a lowercase f. You want to tap on that. If you go all the way to 2.0, that is your background at its blurriest. If you go to F16, your background isn't going to be as blurry. So I'm just going to put it on F2.0 so you can see it. And I'm gonna press record. So as you can see behind me, my background is blurred. I typically don't put my f-stop on 2.0. I feel like it doesn't look as natural. So I usually will put mine anywhere between 3.5 and 5. So let's do that. And this is what it looks like on f4.0. I don't know if you see much of a difference, but I know I definitely can. The final thing that I want to show you is how to adjust your exposure. So there's a couple ways you can do it. At the top of my screen, you see negative 0.3. If I tap on that, this will allow me to adjust my exposure. So if I go this way, my exposure, as you can see, it's getting darker. And if I go this way, the video is getting brighter. So when you have your exposure just on 0, I find with iPhone sometimes that the exposure can be a little bit too bright. So I usually will take mine down to negative 0.3. Sometimes I may even do negative 0.7 just so it can be more accurate to real life. So I'll just put it on 0, but that is one way to adjust your exposure. So we're gonna go over to regular video mode. I'm just gonna tap on the screen. So as you can see, wherever I tap, that is what the camera will focus on. So in this case, we're just gonna focus on the chair, and then you just wanna hold down until you see AF lock at the top. That means that your exposure and your autofocus is locked in. So that means that your phone is gonna stay focused on whatever you tapped. It also means that whatever exposure you have set, that your phone is going to keep that exposure no matter what happens. Now, if you want to adjust the exposure to make it brighter or darker, you can just slide up right next to that box. As you go up, your exposure is getting brighter, as you see here. And then as you go down, your exposure is getting darker. So when you're filming your video, you might want to have this adjusted. If you made it this far in the video, you now know how to create high quality content using your iPhone. But filming is only half of the equation. In my last video, I break down exactly how to edit professional looking content using the InShot mobile app. So click right here if you want to watch it.